Hello, welcome back to my channel. How's it going? Today we are getting into what I'm going to be reading for the month of March. So, as always, let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Okay, so my TBR for this month is pretty much my I went into the library for one book. And like last month, I went in for one book and ended up picking up like a a whole bunch because I ended up seeing all the new books that were out. And I went to a different library. Still, I went to a different location, the location that's a little closer to me because they had the book that I wanted there. And yeah, I just ended up walking that whole library because I've never actually seen their selection. So yeah, I ended up picking up a whole bunch of books and I'm going to attempt to read them all in the month of March. So yeah, let's not even waste any time. Let's get into it. Let's start with the book that I went to the library for. Black Candlewoman by Diane Marie Brown. And this book is about a family of women who you can say are cursed, that any man that they will fall in love with will die. And it's a family of witches, family of witches that practice voodoo. And yeah, so the youngest of the family, she doesn't know this curse, but she ends up liking this guy, and then now all these family secrets kind of come out because of that. So yes, so I already started reading it. I started reading it literally the day that I got it, which is today, because I was stuck in an admissions test line, because my car was due for an admissions test. But the lines be taking forever, so I was just sitting there reading while I was parked waiting for my car to come up. So yeah. Okay, and then the next book I got from the library was Someday Maybe by Oyen Nwabineli. Onyi, I think it's Onyi Nwabineli. And this one I actually had as an audiobook. I've had this actually as an audiobook for a little minute, a little bit of time, and I just could not get into the audiobook. So when I saw it in the library, I was like, oh, I should actually check it out. So this one is about a woman who has lost her husband to suicide, and she's pretty much going through the grieving process of the loss of her husband and, her life without him. So yeah, I'm going to try reading it and see if I have a better experience, because I've seen people say that they've really enjoyed this book. So I'm hoping that I enjoy it in the physical. The next book I got was The After Party by AC Author. And this one is like, is it like a thriller? I don't know. But this one follows three co-workers who do not like their boss. They do not like their boss. And then their boss turns up dead. So then they come together because of that. So, yeah, the cover is really pretty. I see this all the time when I'm on Amazon. And I don't know if I've seen any reviews on it. So yeah, I'll let you know how this one goes. The next book I have is Don't Cry for Me by Daniel Black. And this one I actually I've seen on the tubes. I've seen on the tubes. So when I saw it in the library, I was like, I'm actually interested in reading this. And this one is about a man named Jacob who's on his deathbed. And he begins writing letters to his son Isaac, who he has this estranged relationship with, because I believe he disowned him because he's gay. So yeah, so he pretty much goes through like the generational trauma of the family, and trying to give perspective to where he's coming from, and all the things that he's held in his heart and his spirit that he's never had the chance to tell his son. So yeah. The next book I picked up is Jacqueline Woodson's Word at the Bone. And I know this came out a minute ago. I just never picked it up, but I really love Jacqueline Woodson. When I was younger, I used to love all her books. Miracle Boys was a favorite of mine. If You Come Softly, I said this in another video. Hush was another one. Anyway, I used to really love Jacqueline Woodson. This is an adult fiction, and I've read most of her like young adult. So I'm actually really excited to read this. So this one is about two families that come from like different social economic backgrounds. There's a teen pregnancy that brings them together. I should have just read the cover note. Okay. Yeah. So as the book opens in 2001 is the evening of the 16-year-old Melody's coming of age ceremony in her grandparents' Brooklyn brownstone. Watched lovingly by her relatives and friends, making her entrance into the soundtrack of Prince, she wears a special custom-made dress. But the event is not without poignancy. 16 years earlier, that very dress was measured and sewn for a different wearer, Melody's mother, for her own ceremony, a celebration that ultimately never took place. Unfolding the history of Melody's parents and grandparents to show how they all arrived at this moment, Woodson considers not just their ambitions and successes, but also the cost, the tolls they paid for striving to overcome expectations and escape the pull of history. As they explore sexual desire and identity, ambition, gentrification, education, class and status, and the life-altering fact of parenthood. Okay, and the next book that I picked up this is the reason why I went to that library, was A Spell of Good Things by Ayobami Adebayo. I'll link it down below, but I read Stay With Me, which was her debut novel, so this is her sophomore novel, and this one is more of like a political literary fiction. Still set in, I believe it's still set in Nigeria. And yeah, it's still set in Nigeria. So, this is about one character, Eniola, I believe the politician who's like the parent of one of the characters takes a liking to Eniola, and then their lives and their families become crossed. That was a terrible description, but I was like, do I want to read the jacket? The jacket's shorter than the Red to the Bone one. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to read this one and let you know how this one goes. So yeah, that's my TBR for this month. If you want to do an update about last month and two of the books that I had on my TBR that I didn't read, Black Cake, I still need to finish. Black Cake. I'm 50% into it. I'm still not done with it. So still working on Black Cake. I'm going to sit that right back behind me. And then Pride. I had Pride on my TBR for last month, and I DNF'd it. Do you guys care to hear about the books that I DNF? I had to DNF that one. It just, yeah, it wasn't for me. If you want to hear my DNFs, let me know, and I can do like I don't think I have enough. I usually finish books that I read. I don't think I have enough DNFs to carry a video, but maybe I can include it in my wrap up. So yeah, so that is my books for this month, and you'll probably see some of them as book reviews. And yeah, until the next time, y'all, let me know what you guys are reading for the month of March. I know it's Women's History Month. I think all of these books except for one. Yeah, all these books except for one are by Black women. So so there we go. That was not intentional, but yeah, maybe I'll throw in a nonfiction because I've been meaning to read Pleasure Activism. Maybe I'll pick that up and read it. Anyway, so again, let me know what you guys are reading for the month of March, and let's continue our discussions in the comments. Deuces, guys.